Hi, my name's Glenn Fosbury and I'm one of the lecturers on the BA Creative Writing programme at the University of Winchester. This short video is going to focus on something called textual intervention, which is a concept originally coined by an academic called Rob Pope back in the mid-90s. And although it was initially aimed at those wanting to explore literary analysis or criticism, so more attuned to English literature students, the concept actually offers a lot to us creative writers and presents some ways in which we might be more creative in our reading. And there are some complexities to it, like every academic concept, but the term textual intervention itself is pretty much suggesting what the words say, that we as readers intervene or play around with the text, which can be a book, short story, play, film, or anything with words. Pope suggests that the best way to understand a text is to intervene in it in some way, whether that's large or small, and then to analyse the exact effect of what we have done. Now, although analysis is obviously important in creative writing, for the purposes of this video, I want us to move away from that and see what we can create from the changes we have made. There are 5 ways in which we can intervene in a text, 5 main ways, and handily they can be organised to form a delightful acronym, PAIRS. As I go through each one of these, as well as explaining what they are, although some are pretty self-explanatory, I'll list a few examples along the way. We have then the prequel, a text that is taking place before the narrative of the original text, but can include the same location or characters from the original. Recent example, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which takes place before the events of the first Hunger Games book. Extension. This is where a new text takes character, location or subplot from the original and runs with it to create something new. There have been lots of books over the years that have been film and TV tie-ins. For example, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Doctor Who, Vampire Diaries, Hannah Montana, and one recent example being the 8-book collection based around the Bridgerton series, where each book follows one of the Bridgerton family siblings. Not read them myself, but I'm sure they're great. And they're examples of extensions. Adapting. This is taking the original concept or part of the concept and turn it into something different. Be that a new medium. I guess the most common there is adapting a book into a film, or a new genre, for example, taking the romantic fiction novel Pride and Prejudice and adding zombies to make it a horror novel. Then we've got rewriting. Probably the best examples here come via modernizations or updates of classic novels. So Stephen Fry's The Stars Tennis Balls, for example, is a modern day rewrite of The Count of Monte Cristo, and in my humble opinion, infinitely more readable. Frankenstein in Baghdad by Ahmed Sadawi rewrites Frankenstein to make it a cautionary tale that resonates with modern audiences. Then we have sequel. This is where a book carries on the narrative of the original, often using the same characters. Loads and loads of examples here, as book series understandably are popular for authors and publishers alike, but a few are the Silence of the Lambs, which is a sequel to the novel Red Dragon, Doctor Sleep, which is a sequel to The Shining, and The Subtle Knife, which is a sequel to Northern Lights. Now, some original texts, like Dracula, have great examples of every one of these interventions. Written by Bram Stoker and originally published in 1897 and in print ever since, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of interventions in the intervening years. You might not be aware of it, but there is an official prequel called Dracul and an official sequel, Dracula the Undead, both of which are co-written by Dacre Stoker, the great-grandnephew of Bram. There have also been extensions where characters from the novel have been repurposed in different narratives and guises, including the films Van Helsing and Renfield, and my own favourite, Count Duckula. And there have been numerous adaptations where the novel has been repurposed into films, plays, graphic novels, operas and ballets. Yes, really. There is a rewrite by Kim Newman called Anno Dracula, in which Dracula overcomes Van Helsing, Mina Harker, Jonathan Harker and co, and ends up as King of England when he marries Queen Victoria. Again, yes, really. To most people then, it may seem like when we read a book, the story begins and ends with the word on the page. But when you're a creative writer, it can also be a springboard to something completely new. So keep reading, but while you are, try to read creatively and come up with something new. Thank you for watching.